When I was 7 years old, me and my neighbors used to get into big-time arguments every day on the bus. When we'd get on the bus on the way to school, we would talk about our favorite TV shows, and at that time, all of my friends, Colby, Adam, Sam, they loved Spider-Man. Now, Spider-Man was pretty cool, and if you guys don't know a little bit about Spider-Man, let me tell you a little bit about him. Spider-Man was a superhero. He'd take care of evildoers, and he'd wear this red and blue suit, and he'd have these things called spidey senses where he could tell what was happening behind him, and he'd have these webs that come out of his wrist, be like, tss, tss, and he could swing from building to building, and people loved him. Now, I never really thought much of him because here's the thing about Spider-Man that many people don't realize. Spider-Man got all of his superhero skills because one day there was a radioactive spider that came and bit him. And because that radioactive spider came and bit him, Spider-Man began to develop all of these different superpowers. And that's the thing. Because if you were bitten by a radioactive spider, or I was bitten by a radioactive spider, and we got all of these superhero skills, well, we would be superheroes too. It's not like he did something special to get those skills. He got lucky. It just sort of happened. Batman, on the other hand, well, he's a different story. Batman, he fought evildoers not because he had some sort of superpower that came to him in some weird way. No, he became strong because he worked. He became strong because he would go to the gym and he would work out and he'd climb on mountains, and he got smart because he read lots of books and tried to learn more information, and because of that he got super strong, and that's how he beat all of the evil doers. Now, about 3 weeks ago, when I was on my TV and I was going through the different channels, I saw Batman again. And when I saw him, all of these memories of how much I love him came back, and I started to think to myself, man, if Batman got so strong and so good all by himself, how come I can't do that? And that night, before I went to sleep, I went to my bathroom and I looked at the mirror and I had a good look at what I was looking like, and I was like, and I told myself, Amin, you gotta work out. If you want to be like Batman, well, you've got to get it together. So that morning, I woke up at 5 a.m. in the morning. It's so early in the morning that the sun's not even out yet. I woke up and I went to the gym and I started working out. And you know what? I've gone to the gym every day at 5 a.m. for the last 2 weeks because I want to be exactly like Batman, and I want to get strong, and I know that just like him, I can do it. But I have to tell you something that happened earlier today. On my way to the Noor Kids office, before I came to video this event, I had to stop at the gas station for gasoline. And when I stopped for gasoline and I went into the gas station and I opened up the door and I was going to the cash register, from the corner of my eyes, I saw something. It was a display with big lights, and inside those displays were beautifully kept donuts. It was like, I walked close towards them. I looked at that display, and in the display I saw a shelf of plain glazed donuts. I saw some that were blueberry cake donuts, and I even saw my favorite, cherry fritter. I said Assalamu alaikum to the cherry fritter. The cherry fritter said Assalamu alaikum to me. I opened up the display and I got close towards and I went, oh my gosh, that cherry smell came into my nose and it tasted a little bit of Jannah, and I was like, oh man, if I could just take a bite out of this and sink it into my teeth, oh man, it'll taste like a little bit of heaven, and every bite I would just enjoy it so much. Oh my goodness. So I took a little napkin and I grabbed that cherry fritter and I was about to take it out when I started thinking to myself, is this what Batman would do? I put the cherry fritter back. I took a step back. I thought to myself, no, Amin. If you want to be like Batman, sure, this donut will taste good right now. Sure, that cherry fritter in your mouth will taste like a little bit of Jannah or heaven in your throat, and you're going to love it so much. But once you finish, oh man, all those sugars, that can't be good for you. I mean, don't do it. So I put it away. I took a step back, and I thought to myself, wow, that was a struggle. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalam ala Sayyidil Mursaleen. Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi. Wasallama tasliman kathira. Assalamu alaikum everybody, hoping you are well. This is Amin Aaser from Noor Kids. Now, for those of you guys who don't know me, allow me to introduce myself. I am the author of Noor Kids. What is Noor Kids, you ask? Well, I'm glad you asked. Noor Kids is a book series in which every month we produce and send a brand new book and deliver it directly to your home. Books like Never Give Up and Fairness for All, and Faithful Friends, and Animals of Allah, and Agents of Change, and so many more. In addition to receiving the book every month, you also get a global Muslim citizen passport. We're able to learn about the characters, put in your own information, and collect the badges. Now, right now, you can try Noor Kids for $1. $1. That's it. And you will actually send you this box, if I can get it right, this box in the mail, along with your first book for you to try it. It's a chance for you to love Islam and also to support us so we can continue doing this great work. Please do consider joining if you're not already a member. And if you are a member, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Thank you. Now, today, we are going to be talking about a very special topic called jihad. I want you to say with me, jihad, jihad. Say it one more time, jihad. And jihad means struggle. Okay, we're going to be talking about it. But before I do, I want to also tell you what's going on in this room. Because if you guys watch every Thursday, what you'll notice is this behind me looks a little bit different than what it normally looks like. Because during the Q&A last week, actually 2 weeks ago, someone said, hey, Amin, I want to know what your office looks like. And I was like, you know what, that's a great question. So instead of giving a tour, we actually just moved our studio. So now, going forward, you're going to be able to see our office every time. But let me give you just a quick tour of the office, okay? So next to me over here, you'll see the sitting area. This sitting area, actually, you know what? This behind me, it's not even real. No, of course, it is real. Okay, so this is a sitting area. You'll see a whiteboard. On that whiteboard, we write all of like our plans of stuff that we're working on, so that way we can like cross them off when we're done, and like those things are like comfortable to sit on when we talk. All right. Over there is it's a table where you can sit. Tables are places where you sit, okay? We eat there breakfast, lunch, dinner, and also if we have meetings, we'll do them over there, okay? And behind, there's actually like a microwave and a refrigerator you can't see right now, but it's behind there. Okay, on this side over here, you'll see that chair. That chair, there's actually a little bit more. Okay, there's actually more over here that you can't see in the camera, but those are basically where our desks are, and those desks are where we work, okay? And that's actually my laptop right there. You can see a little bit of it. Okay, now behind there, you'll see we put up these displays, and the reason why we put up these displays is because that behind there is where we keep all of our books. You can see some of the boxes. Those boxes aren't super pretty, and so because of that, you know, we put that over there so that way you can't see it very well. Okay. All right, that is enough about The Office. Now back to our book. So today I'm going to be reading you out of this book called Never Give Up. Now, when we... before we read the book, let me introduce you to some of the characters in Noor Kids. So Noor Kids follows the story of Amin, Shireen, Asad, and Amira. They live in a city called Maple Grove, and they go to a school called Northport Elementary. So first there's Shireen. Shireen is a trailblazer. She loves exploring all around the world. She has a twin brother named Jaffer, and she's actually going to be the main character of the story that we're going to read today. Then there's Amin. Amin's a sports star. He loves baseball and soccer and football, and he's got an older brother in college named Hasib. The thing about Amin is sometimes he does stuff without thinking about it. He gets into trouble. Then there's Asad. Asad's a scientist. He loves to break things apart just to figure out how to put them back together again. He's got a little baby sister named Yusra. Then there's Amira. Amira's an artist. She loves exploring all of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's beauty through art and poetry and painting. Now, these four are the Noor Kids. Now, every book starts with a parents page. We're not going to read that one. There's a first story. We're not going to read this first story. We're going to read the second story that's called Don't Be a Sleepyhead. Now, before we read the story, I want you to say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Will you say it? Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. All right. Don't be a sleepyhead. Shireen awakes in the morning sunlight. Oh no, I slept through Fudger Prayer again. I need to hurry or I'm gonna be late for school. Maybe I'm just not a morning person, Shireen thinks to herself. You guys know what Fudger Prayer is, right? Fudger Prayer is the prayer that you do in the morning, right? Okay. As Mom walks Shireen and Jaffer to the bus stop, Shireen thinks aloud. Why can't I get myself out of bed for Fudger Prayer, Shireen says. You're still young, sweet pea. You'll get the hang of it, inshallah. Shireen and Jaffer hug Mom and head for school. Maybe I should just give up. I'm still young and mornings are too tough, Shireen thinks to herself. During school, Shireen feels sure that her afternoon classes go better than her morning ones. Do you ever have trouble with Fudger? I just can't get up, Shireen says, speaking to Amin. Psh! I'm the Grand Master of morning prayers, says Amin. Oh, there is something I wanted to ask you. I've got tickets to the baseball game between the Sailors and the Vikings, but now my brother can't take me. Want to buy the tickets? Asks Amin. Yes. I love the Sailors. I just have to ask my mom, says Shireen. Once school is over, Shireen asks Mom if she can buy Amin's baseball tickets. They're expensive, says Mom. Please? What if I work hard on something, asks Shireen. Shireen thinks of the prayer she planned to give up. I'm listening, says Mom. How about I wake up for Fudger Prayer with you every morning for a month, says Shireen. Deal. If you do that, we can go see the sailors, says Mom. The next morning, Shireen's alarm goes off for Fajr prayer. She feels sleepy and a little grumpy, but remembers her deal with Mom. She makes wudu quickly and performs all of the actions for 2 rak'ah. Alhamdulillah. Wasn't that a wonderful prayer, says Mom. Look at Shireen. Shireen is tired. Shireen barely feels awake. If you say so, Mom, says Shireen. I don't get why the Fudger Prayer was the Prophet's favorite. I guess he was a morning person. I'll be glad when the month is over, thinks Shireen. Now, by the way, just so you guys know, right? So Fajr Salah, right? That is the morning Salah. It's 2 rak'ah, right? And then there is Dhuhr, Asr, and Isha, which are each 4 rak'ah, and then Maghrib is 3. Anyways, if you don't know all these details, that's totally fine, but if you do, alhamdulillah. Early each morning, Shireen quickly makes wudu and performs her Fajr prayer. But one morning, she's really sleepy. Shireen, says Mom. I'm sleeping, says Shireen. Shireen, it's time for prayer. I can't today. I need to sleep. Isn't Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala supposed to make things easy for us, says Shireen? Sometimes, says Mom, but sometimes we have to struggle. It's our inner jihad against wanting things that don't help us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can help you and put you under his protection with the Fajr prayer. Now, guys, I want you guys to say that after me. Jihad. Say it. Jihad. One more time. Jihad. Say it. Jihad. Jihad means a struggle. Okay? We'll talk about this more on the next page. Shireen gets up. She performs wudu carefully. Standing on her prayer mat, she recites from her heart. She wants to be under the protection of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All right, before we go on, have you ever had to struggle like Shireen has to? Okay, now in the story, Shireen is struggling, right? Should she sleep? Because she really wants to sleep. Or should she wake up and pray, right? Because waking up and praying is not that easy. It takes a little bit of work. And by the way, earlier today when I told you that story of the donut, right? I was going through a jihad too. I was going through a struggle too. What was that struggle? I was like, should I eat the donut? The cherry fritter that smelled so good? Or should I not? Should I eat the donut? Should I not? Should I eat the donut? Should I not? Should I eat the donut? Should I not? It's like in my heart, inside my heart, there was a little war that was going on, and these guys had little swords, and they're like, eat the donut, don't eat the donut, eat the donut, don't eat the donut. It was like a big war in my heart. They were fighting. That was the struggle, and that struggle is something called jihad. And I want to know about you. Is there something in your life that you are struggling with right now? What is it? I want you to type it into the chat box. I want you to think about this because everybody struggles with something. Sometimes people struggle with food, like me, okay? Sometimes people struggle with anger. They get angry too much. They just can't control it. Sometimes they struggle with maybe praying on time or praying even. Or sometimes they struggle with shouting and yelling. Or sometimes they struggle with doing their homework. I want you to write on the thing what you struggle with so that way you know what you struggle with, so that way you can think about it for the rest of the week and say, man, I'm going to try to struggle and fight this. Now, when you struggle, does it make you stronger? Oh, yeah, it does. Oh, yeah, it does. It doesn't make you weaker. Like, think about it. If you want big muscles, if you want big, strong muscles, okay? Can you just sit in your chair and be like, oh, yeah, I hope my muscles are going to get bigger. Oh, yeah, I'll just sit in this chair and my muscles are going to get bigger, yeah. No, that's not how it works at all. If you want your muscles to get bigger, well, you have to exercise. You got to do push-ups. You got to do pull-ups. You got to be lifting big things. And when you do that, you're going to get stronger. If you want to get faster at running, can you just sit in your chair and be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to get faster at running, just sitting here in my chair. No, that's not how it works. If you want to get faster at running, you got to practice. You got to struggle. You got to work really hard and you'll get better, right? Like when I told you the story of Batman got so strong, he got so smart because he worked at it. So similarly for us, every time we go through the struggles, and the more difficult the struggle, the stronger we get. Okay? And this, for the moms and dads that are listening right now, remember, this is the idea of tests. The more challenging the test that we go through, the better that we can come out because of it, inshallah. And may Allah make it easy for you if you're going through a test right now. Now, is the right decision always the easy decision to make? So, the right decision, okay, is it an easy decision? No, it's not. Lots of times the right decision is a tough decision. Like, so, Shireen, the right decision, of course, is to wake up to pray. But is it easy to just wake up and pray? No, that takes work. For me, when I was at the gas station, the right decision would be to put the donut down, but the easy decision would have been to just eat it. It takes a lot of courage, a lot of strength to do that. All right, let's continue reading. Bismillah. The next morning, Shireen is up first. Come on, Mom, don't be a sleepyhead. We're morning Muslims. Sometimes we have to struggle in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Remember? After Fajr prayer, Shireen thanks Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most kind, for her struggle that led to such a lovely prayer. That was a wonderful prayer, Shireen says. And by the way, look at how happy she looks compared to how she looked before, right? Almost a month has passed. At school, Amin approaches Shireen. He bites his lip like this. He's like, "What's wrong, Amin?" says Shireen. I don't know how to tell you. I feel so bad, says Amin. It turns out my brother can take me to the Sailors game. I have to keep my tickets. Shireen stares at Amin for a moment. She totally forgot about the baseball game. Do you see her? She's just staring. She's like, what are you talking about? But remember earlier in the story, Amin made a deal with Shireen that he was going to give her her tickets, right? And that's why Shireen had been praying all this time? No worries, Amin. Have fun with Hasib, says Shireen. After school, Shireen explains about Amin's tickets. Both Mom and Jafar are sorry. Don't sweat it, Mom. You know what? I have something better to look forward to. Fudger Prayer, says Shireen. It's been a struggle to wake up and pray on time, but now I love it. Jafar asks, love it even more than baseball? Way more, says Shireen. The end. Hey, if you guys like that story, I need you to give me a round of applause. Round of applause. Woo! Woo! Okay. Now, before we finish, and I've got a dad joke here that you're gonna love, and I've got one more story I want to tell you before I tell you that dad joke. But I want to make sure that this story was one that, because this is a really, really powerful story, hugely powerful. Oh my goodness, the amount of power in this story. Ya Allah, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Okay, we need to make sure that we understood this completely and totally. So first, at the beginning of the story, Shireen was not a morning person, was she? No, she was not. Remember? She woke up in the morning and she's like, I don't know if I can do mornings. And she was so tired doing Fajr Salah. And she was like, oh my gosh, my afternoon classes are better than my morning classes. I'm not a morning person. But by the end, she became a morning person, didn't she? Right? She enjoyed praying Fajr Salah. In fact, she even woke her mom up one morning. She's like, Mom, we are morning Muslims. Come on. Okay, I have to turn on the light. 1 second. Oh my goodness. Okay. So the lights in my office, if you don't move around for a long time, they turn off because it's better for the environment. Anyways, all right. So she changed. And the reason why that's important is because we have to know that when we are working on stuff, sometimes we think, oh man, it's going to be so tough. Can I change? Can I actually get super strong and super fast? Yeah, we can. We can change, just like Shireen changed in this story. Now, the other thing is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He promises us in the Quran. He promises us over here, okay? You guys can see it over here. This is the translation of an ayah in the Quran in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, He promises, for those who strive for us, the people who try really, really hard, we will surely guide them to our ways. And indeed, Allah is with the doers of good. What this means is that when we actively try to get closer to Allah and do good things, right? Make the right decision, even though it's tough, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is going to help us, inshallah. Okay? Now, there is one thing here. I'm going to bring that up later. But before I bring that up, I want to tell you a story about a time when I lived in a really funny place called Thailand. Okay? Now, actually, Thailand's not that funny. It's just different. Okay? Now, this was the longest plane ride I had ever been. It was 19 hours away. It was literally on the other side of the world. Now, if you have ever, been to a different place, or you have a family member who lives in a different place, what you know is that the times are different, okay? So, for example, this kid's khutbah, it started at 6:30 p.m. in Minnesota. But 6:30 p.m. in Minnesota is actually 7:30 in New York, in Toronto, in Miami, and in North Carolina, and Atlanta, for example, okay? And 6:30, even though it's 7:30 in those places, in California, okay, in LA and San Francisco, in those places, it's actually 4:30. So the time is different. Now, when I was in Thailand, the time between Thailand and Minnesota, super, super different. And I got into trouble because of this, and here's why. When I was in Thailand, I had gotten an email from somebody named David Hopkins. It said, Dear Amin, my name is David Hopkins. I am the managing director of the Carlson Brand Enterprise, the most elite, most awesomest, most wonderful organization for talented marketers in the whole wide world. If you are interested, please set up a time to interview so that we can chat. Thank you, Mr. David Hopkins the Great. I was like, oh my goodness, this sounds like a really cool opportunity. What if I can have a chance to talk with Mr. David Hopkins, and if I can let him know how great I am and make him think about how good I am at communicating and how, mashallah, great I would be for his organization, then maybe I could work with him. And if I do, then it'll be so amazing. I can't wait. So I replied to him and I wrote him an email. I said, Dear David Hopkins, my name is Amin Aaser, and I would love to meet with you. However, I am currently in Thailand, and so the time is a little bit different. How about we meet tomorrow at noon Minnesota time, which is about 3 o'clock in the morning in Thailand. Hope to see you soon. Goodbye. And I sent him the email. He replied right away. Sounds good, Amin. See you soon. Okay. I was excited. The next morning, I would have a chance to talk with Mr. David Hopkins. I'd be able to tell him how great I am, how amazing I am, how much he needs to have me on his team because it would be amazing. So I thought to myself, okay, noon in Minnesota is approximately 3 a.m. in Thailand. It's in the middle of the night. That's when everyone is sleeping. They're like, shh, shh, shh. At about that time, time is when I would be able to meet with him. So I said, okay, fine, I'll just wake up. So I set my alarm for midnight. I woke up at midnight. I went, took a shower. It was such a nice shower. I made my beard nice and good, and I did my hair, and I washed my face, and I went onto my computer, and I went onto my email, and I started looking at my email, and as I was looking through my email, it's like, there was an email from David Hopkins. The first email, I clicked on it. It said, "Dear Amin, I am at my computer for our meeting. Where are you? I am waiting." There was another email. "Dear Amin, it has been 45 minutes that I have been waiting at my computer. Where are you?" There was one more email. "Dear Amin, we are not friends anymore. I am not your friend. We are not going to be friends. The end. Goodbye. This is Dr. David." Oh no. What did I do? How was this possible? I was sure that I had a meeting with him. I was sure that the time was right, but somehow I made a mistake. The meeting with David was not at 3 a.m. in Thailand. It was at midnight in Thailand. I missed the meeting by 3 whole hours. And now he was angry at me. He didn't want to be my friend anymore. And I just thought to myself, oh man, I wish so bad. I wish so bad that David Hopkins would give me another chance for me to just visit him in his office, to talk to him, to let him know how good I am so that way I could be a part of his team. And that day, I learned how important it was to be on time. Now, I'm sure you're thinking to yourself, Amin, this is great and all, and thank you for sharing this great story about this David Hopkins, okay, but why are you sharing this with us? Because, come on, we're just kids, we're not going to meetings or anything like that. Well, the reason why I'm telling you this is because I want each of you to have calendars and to schedule meetings with your mom and dad so that way they can take appointment. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. No. The reason why I'm telling you this is because, believe it or not, each of you actually has a meeting 5 times a day. 5 times a day, each one of us has a meeting. And that meeting isn't with David Hopkins. That meeting isn't with Stephen Curry or LeBron James or Odell Beckham or anything like that, or Mo Salah. Every day we have 5 meetings with the King of Kings, with the Lord of the heaven and the world and everything in between. We have a chance to speak and meet with our Creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, every single day. 5 times a day, His door is open for us to come and sit and to chat with Him and to talk with Him and to become friends with Him and to ask Him what we want and to tell Him what we're thankful for and to share what's going on in our life, because He is there for us to talk with us. And we have that meeting 5 times a day, but it's up to you and me about whether we want to get to that meeting on time or if we want to be late, just like how I was late with David Hopkins when I was in Thailand. Now, we don't want to be late. We want to be on time. We want to make the most of that meeting. We want that meeting to be one that is successful and one where we're able to build a relationship with Allah such that we become Allah's friend and Allah becomes our friend. And can you imagine if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala becomes our best friend? Anything that we want in the world, any desire in our heart, when we become best friends with Allah, Ya Allah, Allahu Akbar. Oh my goodness, that'd be amazing. But we have to be there on time during the meetings. Now, here's the other thing, okay? if you are younger, all right, say you're under 7 years old, the reality is, salah is not something that like, oh man, you have to do. This is bonus. If you do it, alhamdulillah, do it and Allah will love you for it and you'll start building your relationship with Him early. And by the way, do you know this Allah? Let me just explain one thing, just so you understand, because I don't think we can even understand how powerful this Allah is that He gives us a chance to even speak with Him. I want to show you something, okay? Over here is a tree. I'm going to give you 20 seconds, and during those 20 seconds, I want you to count as many leaves as you possibly can on this tree, okay? Ready, set, go. Okay, stop. How many did you get? How many did you get? Stop. I think in total there's about 81 leaves on there. It takes a little bit of while to count those leaves, right? And there's quite a few. 81 leaves, that's a lot of leaves. That's a lot. Okay? Now, I'm going to show you one more, and I want you to count. I'm going to give you 20 seconds to count how many leaves are here. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 20 seconds, count as many leaves as you can. Ready? Bismillah. Okay, that's a trick question. There's no way you could count that, right? There's no way. There are hundreds and thousands and millions and billions and gazillions and Noor Kids illions and Amin Shirin Asad and Amira illions amounts of leaves on here. There's no way anyone can count this. There's too many leaves here. Too many. Right? And by the way, this is not even the amount of leaves in the entire world. This is just one small forest. There are many more forests than this, right? And so if there's many more forests, then there are many more leaves. Could any person ever count how many leaves are on these trees? Could David Hopkins count these leaves? Could you or I, if we spent our entire life trying to count these leaves, could we ever count them? No, never. It would be impossible. It would be just no way, no how. But did you know that even when a tree falls, or even when one leaf falls, just one leaf falls, just one of those leaves fall, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because of His incredible understanding of the entire world, not even one leaf falls, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows it. Imagine every day you and I, have the chance to just talk to Him individually, one-on-one, where you and I can talk to Him and become friends with Him. What an opportunity, what a chance of a lifetime. So, here is my challenge to you, okay, for the next week. For the next week, here is your homework, all right? I want you every morning to wake up with your mom or your dad, and I want you to pray Fajr Salah. And I want you to do this, okay? And when you do it, I don't want you to think about like, oh man, I can't believe this. I want you to think to yourself, oh man, what a chance I have to speak with my Lord. And you do that. Once you finish your prayer, I want you to actually raise your hands and I want you to talk to Allah, because that's when you can talk to Allah about whatever it is that you want. Over the next week, this is what I want you to do. Okay, just for 1 week, and I want to see how it goes. And next week when we meet, I'll ask you about it and see how it goes, inshallah. Okay? Now, before we end, I did tell you that I have a dad joke. Okay, hold on. I need some water because I'm parched. I did tell you I have a dad joke. This is a good dad joke, okay? How do we know that there is a lot of sawab or ajr or good deeds? How do we know that we get a lot of like sawab when we pray? Like when we pray, when we perform salah, how do we know that we get a lot of thawab? How do we know that we get a lot of ajr or a lot of good deeds? How do we know that we get so many? Oh my gosh, we get a lot. We get so many. How do we know that? We know we get a lot because it's called salat, not salittle. You get it? Salah, salat, not salittle. Because if it's a little, then it'd be a little bit, but it's a lot, like a lot. Oh my gosh, so many, like a lot. Okay. I know. It's a good one. Okay, so inshallah, I'm going to make 2 quick announcements, and then we will wrap up. So first, I want to thank you so much for joining me. I did want to just share again, if your family is not currently a member of Noor Kids, please do consider signing up. It's $1 right now on our website, noorkids.com. Realize that this whole thing exists because of support from people like you. Do consider joining. Try our work. Allow your kids to benefit and allow us to continue doing this work. Number 2, follow us on social media. So on YouTube, subscribe to us on YouTube. Like search Noor Kids and subscribe to us on YouTube. Also we're on Instagram at Noor Kids. Follow us online so we can get our latest and greatest updates. Okay, so we're going to end with dua. Every week we do dua. Inshallah, next week we'll be meeting on Thursday again, and it'll be live, and I can't wait for it. We'll do a Q&A after it. We're going to do dua. Now, every week when we do dua, again, dua is something you can do anytime. The way that I do dua is I actually kind of recite it. You don't need to recite it, but it's something I enjoy doing and I like to do. So if you'd like to do it, that's fine. If not, that's okay too. Now, I use a formula when I make my dua. First, I give thanks for all of my blessings. Then I ask for forgiveness for any mistakes that I've made. Then I pray for other people. And then finally, my heart is open, so I pray for myself, okay? So we'll raise our hands. We'll say, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Ya Allah, Ya Allah, Ya Allah. Oh my Lord, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. Ya Allah, thank you, Ya Allah. Thank you for my mom and my dad, Ya Allah. There's so many people without parents, Ya Allah, but you've given me mine, Ya Allah. Thank you. Ya Allah, thank you for my home, Ya Allah. Thank you for my clothing, Ya Allah. Thank you for my food, Ya Allah. Thank you for my eyes, my ears, and my nose, Ya Allah. If I tried to count all of your blessings, Ya Allah, they would be like those leaves that we saw earlier. I could never count them. Ya Allah, thank you. Ya Allah, even though you've given me so much, Ya Allah, I've made so many mistakes. Ya Allah, for the times that I was being mean to my mom or my dad, Ya Allah, I'm sorry, Ya Allah, forgive me. Ya Allah, for the times that I was shouting or yelling, for the times that I was being mean to my brother or my sister or to anybody else, Ya Allah, please forgive me. Ya Allah, I pray for all of those that are in need. Ya Allah, the people who are sick, Ya Allah, cure them. Ya Allah, the people who are homeless, Ya Allah, give them homes. Ya Allah, the people who do not have wealth, Ya Allah, give them sustenance. Ya Allah, for the people that are in war, Ya Allah, give them peace. Ya Allah, for the people who do not have a mom or a dad, Ya Allah, help them. Ya Allah, bless my mom and my dad, just like they took care of me when I was a baby, Ya Allah, take care of them when they get older. Ya Allah, I pray for my grandma and my grandpa. Give them the best of this world and the best of the hereafter, Ya Allah. And if they have passed away, Ya Allah, please forgive them. Ya Allah, now I finally pray for myself. Ya Allah, give me the best of this world and the best of the hereafter. Save me from any torment in the hereafter. Ya Allah, give me wisdom. Ya Allah, give me knowledge. Ya Allah, give me patience. Inna Allah wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabi. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. Sallu alayhi wa sallimu taslima. Anytime we make dua, if we want that dua to reach Allah very quickly, one thing that we do is salawat. Salawat means we send blessings on our holy prophet. Why? Because Allah says in the Quran that when we send our blessings to the holy prophet, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad, that he and the angels, they do salawat with us. And this is one way for us to make sure that our dua reaches Allah very quickly. And so you guys, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. I really hope that you enjoyed this kids khutbah. Man, I enjoyed it so much. And inshallah, I will see you next week. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.